Imagine, each time you go to a diagnostic center, your study and report move into your mobile Medi-Locker without any ado, directly from the modality that created it. No uploading oneself. Each time you require your medical records, consultation, medication, you open up your Medi-Locker. Each famous specialist, each big hospital in any super specialty field available for consultation, second opinion to all without geographical boundaries through Medi-Locker. Medical insurance, getting all paperwork needed automatically from Medi-Locker. Special services to follow your health parameters over time to create alarms, to prevent, to diagnose early. Imagine a diagnostic modality not only choose out a study but also a report. A doctor gets all support systems, all technical and academic resources seamlessly. All radiologists available to all centers. All doctors available to all citizens. All data available anonymously for all medical research. Imagine all medical modalities, service providers, doctors, patients, insurance hooked onto a medical network. Imagine all these players talking seamlessly over this network, interacting, serving each other. Imagine all that's needed to be a part of health ecosystem is to hook onto a medical network. Imagine all that's needed to access all management, academic and collaboration systems is to hook onto a medical network. Imagine a universal medical network. Imagine Universal MedNet.
A very good evening, everyone. We welcome you on behalf of Win India, presented by Universal MedNet. Win India, that started as a fitness campaign for all the IITs, IIMs, and BITs, has kept up with its aim of redefining health for the Indian youth, even virtually this year, while simultaneously uniting them under the banner of sports. As we come to the close of Win India 2021, we have with us today a very special guest, Mr. Harsha Bhogle, a name that I'm sure needs no introduction. Mr. Harsha Bhogle is one of the most prolific personalities across the globe, especially in the world of cricket commentary and journalism. But that is hardly all. He is also a national best-selling author of multiple books and articles. Having graduated from IIMA himself, he has often linked sports, entrepreneurship, and business in his many rampantly followed motivational talks across the years. So I could keep going on, but I am sure the audience would love to get to know you through your own words. So many of us have actually grown up listening to you and watching cricket through your eyes and words. What we have seen is beyond inspiring, but what we do not see is the journey and the path to where you are today. So we would like to start right at the beginning. Could you please reverse engineer the chemical locha of how a chemical engineer and then an IMA graduate ended up being the best cricket commentator of the world?
I'm glad you didn't say one thing in your introduction, which is that he wrote the JE and didn't make it. So that's sort of putting it in perspective.
So you went on to do a lot more.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. You know, when we are younger, we're not always prepared. We don't always know what we want in life. So it was a very different phase for me. It's interesting that as it turned out, so, you know, sometimes what you think are your best moments actually don't quite work that well for you, and what turn out to be disappointments actually turn out to be opportunities. Looking just wearing different clothes. And the fact that I could be at home in Hyderabad for 5 years, play a lot of cricket in Hyderabad, try doing different things, breathe a certain kind of air. Actually, I benefited enormously from it, which I may not have if I had been on a different kind of campus that early in life. So I benefited a lot from growing up there. It seemed to me in those days, and remember, this is forget pre-digital, this is pre-television, that there were about 35 hours in a day. And so there was always time to do something. So you could dabble in so many things. So while I used to go to school 7 days a week, for example, because Sundays was our league match, and school was 6 days a week. So 6 days a week in school, seventh day go for the cricket match. When I got into college, I was doing I remember one year in particular, my second year in chemical engineering, I was doing an advanced diploma in French from 8 to 9. I was doing my classes from 9 to 1 or whatever, then practicals in the afternoon, then pop by to the cricket nets in the evening and go back home and then come back again the next day. And there seemed to be time for everything. Because there were that few distractions, there seemed to be time for everything. And if you're able to compartmentalize your life, it works well. But you're right. You talked about IIM Ahmedabad. Everyone in life gets one stroke of luck they may or may not deserve. In my case, everyone thinks about a nice guy says he doesn't deserve, but I was not sure. I had the ability to be there. But going to IIM Ahmedabad changed my life. It just changed my life completely. So yeah, that was the big break. Maybe I had an interesting CV, Rishabh. I wasn't like academically wow. My engineering course was soft. So you could do well in that engineering course. But I had played cricket for my university. I'd done cricket commentary at Ranji Trophy level. I had an advanced diploma in French, which was the equivalent of a BA in French. I had done Giovanni on All India Radio. So I'd done different things. So maybe they thought that this guy's okay. So yeah. So that's what it was. And then, so I did an engineering degree, but it was going to Ahmedabad that changed my life.
Actually, I mean, I think I resonate a lot, especially with the whole, time to do different things and everything. Because even on campus, I think before we joined IIT Madras, a lot of us had not done most of the things we had. So I think that was definitely an opportunity to try out sport for us as well. So.
Yeah. And in Hyderabad, there was a lot of time. I grew up playing sport. I grew up playing a lot of sport because we grew up in wide open spaces. The people from Mumbai won't understand what wide open spaces are. To them, wide open spaces are a big parking lot. Or to them, wide open spaces are whatever. We had huge spaces. So we could not only play cricket, we could play football, we could play hide and seek, we could play seven stones. I could chase the dogs away from the goats. I could go and catch butterflies. We had time to do everything. And so, it was very, very rewarding.
Actually, it's quite inspiring as to how you started off, like you said, I mean, on the All India Radio when you were 19, and then you went on to pursue it again. So one question that I
remember what it was when I was 19. Can't even remember what life was when I was 19. It's so far away. Risha, I'm going to ask you for just a minute. I have, in my anxiety to get things right, I've not switched on the light, or it'll get dark very soon. So just give me 10 seconds. Yes, I'll put on the light in a minute.
Of course, of course.
Right, there we go. Yeah.
Looks good, sir.
My room is like a studio at the moment. I've got lights, I've got a microphone, I've got a webcam. My room's like a studio.
No, so is mine at the moment. So,
okay. Yeah.
But so sir, actually, the question that we really, I think a lot of us have is, why did you decide to pursue an MBA and post the MBA, right? Because IMA offers a lot of lucrative options, like honestly, like very conventional but lucrative options. So how did you gather the guts to be different, like post IMA too?
Okay, fasten your seatbelts because I'm going to give you an interesting definition of lucrative.
Okay.
Because you've all had grandparents who told you how cheap things were and how life was and what salaries were. So if you can fasten your seatbelts, I'll tell you what my starting salary out of IIM Ahmedabad was. My starting salary was 1,900 rupees a month out of IIM Ahmedabad. Yeah, so if you can gather yourself together to hear the next line, that's okay. Anita and I got married 6 months afterwards. Her salary was 2,300. So I remember going and fighting, all three or four of us, two from IMC, two from IMA, we were all working in rediffusion advertising, and they, on humanitarian grounds, raised our salary to 2,150. They added 250 rupees, and that was like, wow, man, 250 rupees add on. So it wasn't lucrative. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't lucrative. 5 years later, when I started off on my own, I was on 5,500 rupees a month. So it wasn't like, wow, lucrative. And when I finished, when I quit that job, Midday asked me if they had this very young desk, and they asked me if I'd go and work for 2 hours in the morning to
so I'm not sure if it's my internet that's stuck. Okay, I think it says he should be back in a second. Probably. Yeah, I'm just doing that.
I don't know how good this line will be. The line is just dropped out. I'm on a hotspot now. So I hope it works.
Oh, okay.
Good to go. I'm on a hotspot.
It's lagging a bit, but I think it should be fine. At least the voice is clear.
It is. Yeah, I think the connection's terrible, but I'm on a hotspot. So let me see. Sure. Sorry, guys. We'll see how best we can manage programs in coming here. But
Sir, actually, your voice is getting stuck a bit.
Proper.
So it's not exactly audible.
Okay, let's do one thing. Let's do one thing. If you can hear me, give me 5 minutes. I'll call the hotel and see if it's possible. If you can just tell everyone to hang on for 5 minutes, I'm terribly sorry about this.
No, no, that's totally fine. We'll do that, sir. Sure. All right.
Okay, okay. I hope this works. Let's see.
Yeah, I think it looks good now. Yeah. So would you like me to repeat the question maybe so that
First of all, all of you who are still there, very sorry. I mean, this sometimes when you're on a hotel network, it's outside your control, and it just dropped off. Maybe it had enough of me. I don't know. It just dropped off. So very sorry about that. So hopefully we're back again, and hopefully it won't drop off again.
no, so actually everyone's still waiting on call, so don't worry. That's all right.
You hope so. You hope so. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually we were on about, why the MBA, and you were talking about how lucrative
Yes.
isn't actually lucrative from IIMA.
It wasn't. It wasn't then. It wasn't then. To be fair, it has been for a long time afterwards, and that has made decision making a little more difficult because you get into a safety zone, you get into a comfort zone after a while, and it becomes very difficult to let go of that to do something. And all I will tell people who want to do something else is if you've got a professional degree, if you're from an IIT or from you're a good engineering college, or if you're from a good technical course, you have achieved an expertise that marks you out as different from everybody else. So it gives you a slight competitive advantage over many others. If you're going to give up your competitive advantage and go somewhere else, then you better try to be the best in the field that you're going in. Otherwise, it's not worth it because you're giving up far too much to play on somebody else's stuff. So life was very different. I'm very loath to talk about my story as it used to be because it's very irrelevant for a lot of people listening in now who will look at me and say, but I mean, television came when I was in my second year in engineering college. So there's a huge disconnect. So life was very different. The stakes were very low. You could take a chance and come back. But I'll tell you one thing: if you've got, in my case, the big break that I got being IIM Ahmedabad, I knew that if it didn't work out, I could always go back to advertising. That is what having a test cap does to you. If you got a test cap, you know you'll get back into the side at some point. So that was one. The second was that my wife was working and I didn't realize that the girl I married came with a house, which in Mumbai was like, don't let go, come what may. And I didn't. I had the good sense not to. Uh, I don't know. I always had the option because whatever. That was number two. And number three, things were cheaper. We always lived within our means. I don't know if it's something that makes sense to a generation that's on credit cards and that lives off EMIs, whatever. We never had an EMI, never took a loan, always lived within our means. So I think that helped. If we had 5,000, we lived within 5,000. If we had 8,000, we lived within 8,000. If you had 10, you lived within 10. So that's how we've always lived.
Actually, the reason why we really asked this question is because, most of us watching are in our final years or pre-final years, and, we're
Yes.
ready to make that sort of step as to what we really want to do. So this is why I really wanted to ask that question.
It's very glamorous to see
exactly.
people who've done all right. And so you think, if that person's done all right, maybe I can, which is a good thing actually, because you must back yourself, but you must ask yourself a few very hard, uncomfortable questions. And I don't know if enough people are asking themselves these hard, uncomfortable questions. Am I good enough, first of all, to be in that profession? I might believe I am. So before you take the plunge, test the waters a little bit. They might be a lot deeper than you think they are. Test the waters. I'll tell you one thing about cricket commentary, for example. Every single person thinks that he or she is better than everyone else on air. So because you're not tested, several times because your views are not tested, you start to think you're as good. You could be, but you need to test that early. So if I can only talk from my profession, now you're so lucky that cameras are very good. The internet is open. The internet has democratized everything. So you can do your blogs and you can get an idea. Hang on, do my blogs look better than somebody else's blogs? Am I good in front of camera? Do I speak multiple languages? That's if you want to get into the media. If you want to start on your own, that's a completely different beast that I don't have a lot of experience really. If you want to get into manufacturing, if you want to get into some other sector, all I will tell you is I tend to.
I think we've lost Sir again, right? For a bit. We're extremely sorry, guys. If you could just wait for like another minute or so. Actually, Sir is in the bubble, so he doesn't have a lot of access to good internet. But hopefully, we can make do with what we have today.
Is that okay?
Yes, perfect again. All
Okay.
right. Sorry, we're really sorry about the whole trouble. Okay. Sir, am I audible? I think it's the internet thing again. Sir, am I audible now? Or so maybe your audio would be clear without the video. So if you prefer for a bit, you could shut your video off. So maybe the audio quality will be good.
Yeah, can you hear me though? I can
Yeah,
hear
I
you.
can. Yeah, we can hear you. I think the video is getting stuck, so it's probably just
Okay.
delay. Like, yeah, it's just streaming delay.
It's terrible. The
So
quality of my net is terrible.
yeah, but I think maybe if you switch off your video, it should be all right. Like at least we can hear you properly.
I can hear you guys,
Oh, okay. So I think maybe we could go live still and we can continue with the audio. Is that okay?
I'm terribly embarrassed by this, but
No, sir. We totally get it. I think we totally understand
okay.
this. We've all faced it. So, Sanika, I think we can go live again. Just let us. Oh, we are live. All right. Okay. So yes, so you were talking about how you should really know about the field that you're getting into, like before taking the plunge, especially today. So I have a question regarding the same. So how tough was it to get into official cricket commentary without and becoming the best at it in the world
Oh, Grisha, it's
without
coming and
having
going. It's
played so
coming
much?
and going.
Oh, all right. Okay.
I heard a little bit there. I'm terribly sorry.
No, it's all right, sir. Just one second. I think I'll give you a call on normal call, maybe. So, could figure this out.